Hi, good afternoon. I'm Sheila Maria, and this is where I face planted, just in case anyone's wondering. I am a psychic medium. It is absolutely wonderful to be here with you. And I am jumping on today to talk about a subject that I actively have opinions about myself, and that is, do psychic activations work? So there are many different types of psychic activations. There are general spiritual healing treatments such as Reiki, angelic Reiki. There's things that I don't personally have anything to do with, such as theta, EFT. There's, of course, working through the Akashic records. There's light language. There's crystal healing. Okay. But one of the questions I get asked when people are having a psychic activation is, how does it work? So what I want to do is I want to talk to you with my guides. Okay, so it's my guides that are going to be answering this, and we're going to be telling you how all of these actually work. Okay, so I have Orion with me. That is who's answering this today. So the first thing that Orion says, when you invest in yourself in any way, you're far more likely to make an energetic commitment to any result that follows. So he says, if you have a free activation, it won't work as much as a paid activation, whatever type of activation it is, because there isn't necessarily the value that you're placing on that. He says, and there are many things which can affect psychic abilities that you cannot see. So some of the things which affect psychic abilities that you cannot see can be different types of entity. And these are beings that live on the astral dimension, which is very, very closely connected to us. It's the energy realm that surrounds Earth, and it's where all our thoughts and feelings are. Okay, so he says, having a lot of fear in your aura, either in your thoughts or your emotions, that affects your ability to see and hear and know things outside of your fear, because your fear literally creates, and he's showing me it's like slime. You don't know if any of you ever used to have those little aliens that you would get in those eggs, and they would be surrounded by slime. So that's what fear energy does, and that affects your psychic abilities. And we're talking about any kind of activations here. So what else affects? Okay, so the other thing that affects psychic ability is if you've got a lot of foreign energy in your aura. And sometimes this happens if you're occupying a public place, and if within that public place there is anything which lowers your auric walls, so drugs, alcohol, anything like that. And that's not about a judgment, it's just that's what it does. Okay, so he says, the other thing that does affect psychic abilities are cellular memories of past lives where we were persecuted or judged or outcast or even executed for having healing abilities. And he says you carry these memories, although you consciously may not remember them, you carry these memories within your aura. So he says a psychic activation works first by identifying all these types of things that you cannot see, but these things which affect your aura. And once they're cleared, because they can be cleared, and what I'm telling you can be cleared for a period of time, then your psychic abilities will naturally start to flourish. Okay, so he says, when we're talking about an actual acceleration of your abilities, what we do is we alter the settings within your aura that govern different types of frequencies being felt by you. So in your aura, you have angel settings that govern how much angel activity you can pick up. You have being settings, which are the places that governs how much entities you can sense or be affected by. He says you also have what we call transference and absorption settings. And these are the settings that either increase or decrease your ability to sense the unseen, the unheard, and, you know, the unfelt. So he says in an activation, once we have cleared away the obvious layers of gunk, we then look at your aura settings. Okay, so he says in terms of, can an activation accelerate your psychic ability? He says yes and no, right? And I offer these activations, so I'm giving you exactly what my guide says. He says yes, in the first instance after having an activation, depending on the individual and where the individual is upon their path, they will notice an acceleration in their abilities for an amount of time. But no, the activation cannot give you long-term heightened abilities if you are not committing to your own growth. So he says, we will only activate you if it is in your best interest for that to happen. And he says, we will not activate your abilities to the next level if you are going to use these only for others. You must be learning your own lessons as well as using your gifts to help others. So he says, we want to remind you that those of you that are on a psychic or a very spiritually aware path, thank you very much, Kina, will not want to ignore your life lessons. You wouldn't think of your development about just being your psychic abilities. Those of you that are on a spiritual path will be looking to grow and have that feeling of growing as a soul, because you will understand that the more you grow as a soul, the more you can help others with their growth. So he says, we will only activate you to a higher level if your commitment is there for yourself first. So I do offer psychic activations. I offer in-depth activations. I offer many different types of clearings and readings that you won't get anywhere else. And that is because I work with a guide called Spirit. You have to be attuned to work with him. And what he does is it's a bit like angelic psychic surgery. So do get in contact if I can help you. I train people in many different things. And if you've enjoyed this video, I am trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a massive Oracle card event for everybody who joins me, and I will be pulling cards. So if you haven't already, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe and like and share. I want to wish you a wonderful afternoon. Lots of love from me, lots of love from them. Bye-bye for now. We love you.